Good morning. It's a pretty nice day here at Nevada County. Welcome to episode 3 of my Friendly Airport series. We're going to Brownsville. Now, you may say, haven't you taken us to Brownsville before? And I have. In Goldie, we went to Brownsville about a year ago. But this video is going to be a little bit more informational and not quite as scenic. So I'll put that video that we took to Brownsville and Goldie up here if you want to watch that later. All right. Let's go check it out.
So Brownsville is about 55 miles kind of north of Sacramento. Let's zoom in a little bit here. It's a private airport, so you have to have permission to fly in there. Permission's not too hard to get, but it is a mountain airport, and you kind of need to know what you're doing. The runway is 2,300 feet long, 23, 26. It's 20 feet wide, so that's a narrow little runway. It's you want to make sure you can stay on center line before you go blasting over to Brownsville. And at 2,300 feet, you need to hit your mark when you're coming in, otherwise you're gonna not be happy. Let's see, altitude 2,120 feet, so not terribly high, but it definitely is. I would definitely consider this mountain flying, because if you look, let's see if we can close this up here. You got this peak over here at 3695. Get into the pattern, you're kind of down below the ridge lines. So you're going to have some ridges kind of around the airport. It's kind of down in its own little valley there. I generally like to come in on runway 6 right here. So you'll make a right pattern, come in runway 6, and then I'll, let me switch it over to view here. Right pattern for runway 6, and then I'll just kind of taxi out and park up here. And then I'll normally take off runway 33 and kind of cruise out over the canyon. That's the usual way I like to fly in and out of there. You can land 3-3, but you definitely you're coming in over the top of this stuff, so just pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure your approach is stable. And taking off runway 6, you could probably do it if you have good performance. I don't think I would ever try it in the 150 unless there's a really big headwind, just because you kind of got to climb out over the trees and the buildings right here. And by the same note, when you're coming in runway 6, you pay attention to what's going on. If you have to go around, you want to go around early. You don't want to bounce halfway down the runway and then decide to go around out in here and then end up in the power lines over here. That would not be fun. So let's zoom in a little bit here. So it looks like this photo was probably taken during some fire takeover or something. Anyways, if you get permission to land here, they'll send you a little packet, so they'll tell you where to park and everything. I normally come down here and just push the plane into the weeds over by the windsock. Just kind of make sure there's plenty of room for people to get around you. This little house here, the lady lives there. Apparently she's friendly and she likes the airplanes and likes being on the airport, but try not to blast her when you're doing your run-up or anything like that. Generally, my plane's pretty much warm because I don't stay here very long, so I'll taxi around and just do a little run-up right here on the runway. That way I'm not blasting the house. Just check my mags and then blast off. But the best part about Brownsville is the cafe, the Brownsville Station Cafe, right over here. So you park your plane here, hoof across the road, you go to the little cafe. Their hours are pretty limited. Let's see, where are we at here? They're only open on, Friday through Sunday, 11 to 5. This is this guy in there making food, and he makes good food. I like to go there and I like to get their beans. I haven't really tried anything else. I've tried the chili, but you can get like a bowl of beans for I think $5 or $6, maybe $7 with some cornbread, and he whips it right out for you, so you can sit there and eat your beans and then head back out to your plane and fly home. So that's the plan. Let's go flying.
All right, Lucy's out and ready to go. She's all pre-flighted, plenty of gas. This may be the last video with Lucy for a couple months, because this weekend the Goldie is coming down off the ramp and Lucy's going to go up there. So Lucy will be parked for a few months while I'm doing some flying with Goldie. But the good news is, I think when she comes off the rack, I'm going to have some bigger wheels on her. Nothing crazy. I think I'm just going to get some 800s. She had 800s on her at one point, and so I already have the paperwork for that. So we're going to go with a little bit bigger tires and just make it a little easier when we're going off airport. I don't plan on doing anything too crazy with her, but it would be nice to have a little bit bigger wheels on there, tires. All right, let's go flying.
visibility.
I always like tuning in Oroville on my way over there because Brownsville doesn't have their own ASOS or anything, so Oroville normally gives you a good idea of what the winds are doing. Oroville's a little ways away though, so you generally want to fly over Brownsville and take a look at the wind socks before you commit to a certain runway. Ah, there's Brownsville down there. See if we can zoom in and see what those socks are doing. Doesn't look like they're doing much. Another sock over here somewhere right there. Yeah, there's not much going on down there. All right, I think it'll be a nice landing. We're going to circle around and come in 2-4. See how this works. Oh, that's how you do it right there. It's a fun little runway. It gets narrow once you get down there low. And then once your tails come down, you can't really see anything. So, but I think we stayed on the pavement. Let's go get some lunch. Got a little mud on my tail wheel there. Ah, the old chief is so happy parking in the dirt. Here we are next to the sock. I usually park over here, but I was cruising over here and I saw this water and I thought, well, that's not a very good place to park. So I just kind of blasted through. Did get a little bit of mud on my tail wheel, but not too bad. Then off the end of 2-4 here, you just walk over here right next to this this red fence and then across the street and you're at the cafe. Here's the trusty cafe, but it does not look open. Oh, maybe it is. We're gonna find out. Ah, the restaurant was open. I'm not sure why his sign was off. Had a nice bowl of beans. It's really a good value. You get this massive bowl of beans for $6, and for an extra $2, you can get the cornbread, which is pretty good too. So, yeah, you can't go wrong. I talked to a nice fellow that rode over on his Triumph from Forest Hill. He's an 84-year-old guy, and he said when it's not raining, he's riding. So, all right. Ah, there's not a more beautiful sight than your trusty tail dragger sitting next to a windsock out in the grass. Looks like we got a little bit of a front coming in or something. The windsock's starting to blow. It's coming right down the runway though, so that's good. All right, we got Lucy back in the hangar. That was a fun flight back over Bullard's Bar. this is a good time of year to kind of get low over the lake, because usually there's not too many boaters out there. There's normally a fisherman or two, so you know, if you go down and have to swim for shore, hopefully one of those guys will come and fish you out. But you can kind of have fun on the lake and not get too close to anybody. So, all right, thanks for going to Brownsville. It's one of my favorite airports, and I'll see you next time. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Until I get to 1,000 subscribers, I don't make a dime off any of these videos. I like making them because they're fun, but it would be cool to make at least a few cents off one of my videos. So tell all your friends, your family members, your grandparents to subscribe. All right, I'll see you next time. So long.